this is Big Ronnie saying if you don't watch this guy's YouTube channel, you're making a big mistake.
What is up, everybody? Good evening, good morning, good day to you. Good days, wherever you may be on this little blue globe floating through the vastness of outer space. Hopefully you're having a wonderful, wonderful day part, wherever you're at. I wanted to talk about the SAG-AFTRA strike, and we can talk about whatever, but specifically I wanted to come on and talk about this because living in Southern California, being into filmmaking, having friends in the industry, loving to go to the conventions personally, meeting actors, knowing actors, kind of surrounded by people in the business, and a lot of them are very, impacted by this strike. A lot of them, I think they're impacted by this strike. A lot of people want to be impacted by this strike. But I do want to say I didn't do any research. I know what I've heard, basically little tidbits on the news here and there. And I know what some friends have told me, and I've kind of formed my own opinion. And I want this to be kind of more than diving down and getting invested in reading what one side or the other has to say. I kind of want this to just be pure raw emotion of this is my view of Hollywood, whether it's the actors, whether it's the studios. This is how I view it. And I don't really want to have that swayed, because as I go through life, in general, I have an opinion of Hollywood. I think most people do. And we know Hollywood, it gets its names, Hollywoke, Hollyweird, different things. It is a very interesting place. There's a lot of good people, a lot of weird people, a lot of people in power that have agendas. Money talks, and that has a lot to do with the strikes, but also some other things that are going on with the strike. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I thought I would come on, and I know it's very no notice for this stream, and it's very late at night. So if you're missing it, I apologize. Hopefully you enjoyed the replay. But for those of you who are here, hello, how are you doing this evening? Elika, Hamburger Time, what's up? So as far as the strike goes, we know, first of all, it's two different strikes, because we had the writers on strike, and now we have SAG-AFTRA. And so the Writers Guild, SAG-AFTRA, it's two different things. So the writers were on strike first, and the SAG-AFTRA just joined the party. Now, for the writers, in every walk of life, you have good, you have bad. And I think a lot of us feel like there's nothing new coming out of Hollywood. It's all just rehashed, it's rewritten, it's remakes, and we get tired of watching it. Or if it is something that we feel like could be fresh, it definitely has an agenda, something that unrelated to the movie that they want to shove down your throat, kind of like the new Evil Dead movie, where it was this like woke agenda with all these different things going on that they want to shove down our throat. Is that the fault of the writers? Is that the studios controlling the writers and telling them you have to include these things? Who knows? Every project's probably a little different, but I know there's some good writers, and I know there's writers who want to tell great stories, and I know there's studios who go, that sounds like a good story, but it'll target our audience better if we do this and that. So there's good and bad on both sides with the writers. Before I go any further with anything talking about it, let me just say I hope that the sides come to an agreement, and before everybody loses too much money and they get back to work. I don't want to see anybody lose their job. I don't want to see anybody, lose their home or, get in a real financial crisis because of this. But I do, so I guess with that being said, I do hope they come to an agreement and that they can all get back to work and then they can just move forward. With SAG-AFTRA, we know the big issue, and I think with both of them to a certain extent, the big issue is AI. And it's hard for the rest of us, frankly, to give a rat's ass about this AI and the future and what the studios want to do. Because we know, as hardworking folks, American or not, if you're working a job to support yourself, to support your family, pay your bills, have a nice house, have a nice car, just to have a decent life, probably almost all of us have been impacted by technology and the advances in technology. And AI is just another advance in technology. So, we've had, manufacturing jobs taken away. We've had, just so many different things taken over by computers. And it's eliminating jobs. And moving forward, they're developing driverless cabs, driverless taxis, driverless trucks. So eventually, you're going to have a road full of vehicles that are not being driven by people. I mean, airplanes, the military, they're going to be phasing out pilots and having all these, drones and stuff. So we're taking the human element out of a lot of different jobs, and it's not one sector. So with that in mind, the folks in Hollywood have to understand, as time marches on, things like this are going to happen. They have to figure out ways to adapt. You can't just sit and kind of, rest on your laurels, or however they say it, that what I'm doing is good and moving forward, I should be entitled to the work that I'm doing because it's good. No, you have to adapt with the times. You have to keep, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. It's the bottom line. And so, do I feel bad for anybody who's losing a job or job is threatened by technology? Yes. But the rest of us have been dealing with this for a long time. So for the folks in Hollywood to kind of cry, oh, they're taking our jobs, or, we risk losing jobs, we risk not making any more money or whatever. If you don't like that industry, you don't like where that industry is going, do something different. Do something different. For years and years and years, the folks in Hollywood, whether it's the studios, actors, whatever, Hollywood has been telling Americans how and basically the world, how we should live our lives. And they always have very strong opinions of how we should act, how we should treat other people, how we should respond, whether, they want us to acknowledge that, a person wants to be identified as he, she, them, they, whatever. You identify as whoever you want. Me, I don't give two shits. If I see you, if you, I might say hello or whatever. If you look like a dude, I'll probably call you sir or dude. If you look like a woman, I'll probably address you as such. If that's not wrong, because I don't know, that's not my problem, that's yours. But anyways, that's one example. I don't want to get into that tangent. But Hollywood has been telling us for a long, long time how we need to live our lives. And so many young people are influenced by the things that they hear and they see coming out of La La Land that they think it's right, when they're being told this by people like that are filthy rich. Matt Damon, who I love his movies. Jamie Lee Curtis, love her movies. Fran Drescher, can't fucking stand her, but she's a famous actress. they're sitting here living in their house high on the hill, and they want to say to us how we should live when they've been living in a fantasy land. They have so much money. They don't know what it's like to go through the grind day by day. They don't know what it was like to go through COVID as a normal person. They went through COVID with the special treatment that rich people get. And whether you're an actor, whether you're a businessman or whatever, we know if you got cash, you get special treatment in society in general. So for us to listen to those people, it's a hard pill to swallow for me. And I think a lot of folks, maybe as they get older, will kind of wise up and realize, you know, I had this gazillionaire telling me how to live when they've never dealt with this, you know? And so it's hard for me to really care about the words that come out of these people's mouths, especially when you have like Fran Drescher and Matt Damon and these other people that are standing up talking about, you know, the strike and how everybody should honor it and do these things. It's easy for you to say. It is easy for you to say when you have struggling actors, people who've never done anything, I mean, never been in anything big. When you have people who have been in things that are big and you know, not to bring anybody in particular into this, but we all know, as Fluffy Gamer likes to say, the guy whose name rhymes with Michael May Schrower, whatever Fluff said, you know, he's struggling. He's done some amazing movies, been on some great TV shows and stuff, but he's struggling. And for me, if you look at SAG-AFTRA, they're part of the problem because certain folks can't go out and do work because they're non-union projects. But yet the union puts such tough rules on projects that it's so hard to be SAG, to make a movie that's SAG or make a show that's SAG, because it's just the rules are very hard to follow. It's very expensive. And when you have indie films, and I know some folks who I'm not even going to drop their names because I just don't want to implement them into this conversation at all. But I know some folks who make indie movies regularly. They did one that was SAG, and it was a friggin' nightmare. And so they don't do that anymore. And I kind of understand. I'm not anti-union. Believe me, when I tell you, believe me, I am not anti-union. I grew up, my dad was a Teamster. I grew up in a Teamster household. Like, believe me, I am not anti-union. So, and at the same time, some of the things the studios want are very, very frustrating. And so my lack of empathy with the union, also what the studios want, they're kind of out of their mind too. And so I think them wanting to be able to use an image of a person forever. And then, yeah, people get these checks, you know, residual checks for pennies. It probably costs more to print the check than it does to, you know, than the check is worth. So to get things like that after you were on a project and everything, that kind of sucks. Now, we have to take everything into consideration. And when you look at like a movie and you sit there and watch the end credits and you see how many hundreds, if not thousands of people are involved in one production, and you say, okay, all the entities or people, you know, entities, I mean, because of different, you know, companies that might have done this effects or the color or the sound or whatever, but all the entities involved with making a film, if they all are going to get a cut of the royalties in whatever fashion, that's going to take that money down to a very, very, very small amount. And so I understand why those amounts are small. Is there a way that Hollywood can better take care of the actors? Maybe. I don't know. But this is my whole outlook on it right here, is when people go to Hollywood and they want to become an actor, they know, you know, in your heart of hearts, you know that it is a very, very slim chance that you'll ever be successful at it. And I think most people know that Hollywood is a big club. And if you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. you look how many different actors are children of other actors that were children of other actors. We have third, fourth, fifth generation people in the business. And so, you know, people with money associate with people with money, and they like to keep that group small. So for an outsider to come in and to really try and break that wall and get in, it's very hard, and it's very, very slim odds that they'll ever do that. So with that in mind, if you go into Hollywood and you don't have a backup plan, and now you're crying because Hollywood isn't treating you fairly, that's your bad, because you should have said, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go, and at a certain point I'll realize it's not for me. It's not going to work out. So I'm just going to take a step back and try something different. And maybe I'll keep doing auditions and all that, but I'm going to get a job too. And you hear, you know, so many folks go get jobs as waitresses, you know, or whatever type of service industry jobs that are go nowhere jobs. And so if that's what you're doing, and you're really hoping to make it big in Hollywood, that's fine. But just don't look for handouts. Don't look for other people to care when it doesn't work out for you, because we've chosen a path, or we've been forced into a path to work jobs to get by, to take care of our families, to live our lives. And 99% of this country isn't in Hollywood. And so for us, a lot of us, it's very hard to care about what's going on. But should we care? I think we should in general, because one, we like movies. One, another thing, we're fans of a lot of these actors, and we want to see more movies with them in it. And it's not just impacting the actors or the writers. These things are impacting all the production people, and you want to, the trickle down effect is just insane if you think about, because like, just take a camera, for example. You've got a company that sells the camera, companies that make the cameras. You've got the companies that make the materials, you know, the chemicals or whatever that are turned into the cameras and stuff. So, I mean, and that's just for a camera. We're not talking about like craft services, the food, all these companies that deliver food to these movie sets or these studios. You know, the guy that that takes care of the air conditioning, the plumbers, everybody, all the different aspects of things that go on to have a company be able to go through the whole process of making a movie and get it distributed. That is so many people. It's mind boggling. And so this affects a lot of people. And I don't want to see, like I said, I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs. I want to see them come to an agreement, and I want to see them go back to work. And hopefully, and I do believe it's wrong. The idea that the companies would, these studios would want to scan somebody and get their voice, and then they don't even need them to come back to work anymore. It's like, we got you, we got your voice, go away. We'll use the computers to do what we need. That's not cool unless they're being paid for every single time they're on screen, just like, they would if in a regular residual. If you're, in an episode of Friends and every time it plays, you get a penny or whatever, whatever it is, it should still be that way. It shouldn't be that, you just sign and you get that one-time payment and you're done and they get to make money off you forever. That's not right. So I hope they can come to an agreement. I hope they can figure it out. It's just hard for me to care. But I do, when it comes to the production side, a lot of people, they go to school to learn how to operate a camera, operate sound equipment, lighting, editing, just all the different things that go on with this industry. There's so many people that have gone to school, educated themselves to do this type of stuff. And getting into that line of work is not a pipe dream like becoming a famous actor. And so for them, I do feel some sympathy for what they're going through, being out of work because of strikes and stuff. So there's difference between the SAG and the writer strike. So please understand that that's you can't lump them together, even though it's all Hollywood, and a lot of us look at it like Hollywood. That's just a bunch of kooky people with crazy ideas that don't fall in line with like 47 other states in this country, because we know New York is batshit crazy. We know California is batshit crazy. Washington, Oregon, they're kind of batshit crazy. The rest of the country looks at these states and goes, "What are you people doing? What are you people doing?" And so, for most of us, it is very hard to kind of give two shits about what's going on in Hollywood, because you have auto worker strikes, you have strikes in folks working in mines or in trucking. Look at UPS is about to go on strike. They might shut down the entire fleet, like I don't know if it's worldwide or just nationwide for UPS. That's insane. You're talking like what they say, a couple 100,000 or million workers or whatever. That's a lot of people to go on strike, to be out of work. And they're not fighting for Matt Damon money. They're fighting for an honest living so they can pay to live in stupid states like California, where, I mean, you could buy a house in a lot of states, $200,000. In San Diego, the average price of a house is like over $1 million now. Why? Because you're close to the beach. I have no idea. I mean, don't get me wrong. The weather's nice. We got earthquakes. We got fires. The whole state's burning down right now. But why? Why are things this expensive here? I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyways, that's my little rant. That's where I'm at with it. I feel for them. I want them to get back to work. I want them to be treated fairly, but I'm not losing any sleep over it. So, and with that being said, there's a few of you in the room, and look at me. I'm all like disheveled. I came in here like all unshaven for like a couple weeks now, maybe, and I was like, I got some bedhead going on, but I don't even care. I was sitting here. I was actually going to watch a movie. And then I was like, you know what? I want to talk about this. And I thought about doing a little pre-recorded video and just uploading it. And then I said, nah, you know what? I'll get on and then we'll kind of talk, because I'm kind of curious some other folks' thoughts on what's going on. And this, another thing too, that I haven't really mentioned yet is the impact that this is going to have on conventions. Because the Hollywood actors, they've been told that they're not supposed to go to conventions or do anything publicizing these movies. And so that's going to be interesting, because we have so many conventions coming up, and so many good friends and good people. Not all are friends, don't get me wrong, but they're not bad. They're not friends because I don't want them to be, but I don't know them well enough. But, folks like Sean Clark, great dude. I wouldn't call him a friend, because he would probably look at me and go, "Who are you again?" So I'd love to be a friend of his. Don't get me wrong. But I don't want to, act like, oh, that's my homeboy. He's a great person, very friendly, wonderful dude, does some amazing videos, Horrors Hollow Grounds, great stuff. Love it. But what he does for a living, very much impacted by this. And he made a video about it. And then guys like Nick putting on Creepie. I mean, how is this going to impact them if this goes on for a while? It's going to be very interesting to see from outside perspective. We've got San Diego Comic-Con coming up, like next week or a week and a half or something. Boy, that's going to be interesting. I've heard Marvel has already pulled out, and a few other companies have already pulled out. So San Diego Comic-Con this year is not going to be what it was in years past, unless a miracle happens, in the next day or so. But I think companies like Marvel already pulling out, I don't think they'd have the ability to go like, oh, okay, never mind, let's go there. We can make it happen next week. I don't think they could get it together that quick. So I think they're out. But that's good. It's definitely going to be interesting, because we have Creepie Aftermath. We have H45. We have Midsummer Scream coming up. To a lesser extent, Midsummer Scream is more about haunts and Halloween than it is about specifically movie stars and stuff. So Midsummer Scream wouldn't miss a beat as far as if the actors and stuff couldn't be there. But we also have Son of Monster Palooza coming up. John Carpenter is going to have his book signing, which hopefully that doesn't impact that, assuming he still does, do his book signing again this year. But there's so many conventions coming up that I would love to be at. What Movie One is all about, and the whole community of friends that we have that go to these conventions that will be impacted on a much lesser extent than the actors who kind of rely on some of this money. Some of the regulars, just throw Felissa Rose's name out there, for example, because she does a lot of conventions, and I'm sure that money goes a long way toward helping her live the lifestyle she wants. And so it's going to be really tough for those folks if they have to start backing out of some of these conventions. So that's tough. So there's so many different things that are impacted by these strikes. And so, look at that. How crazy Matt's calling me right now. Let me tell Matt that we're live. Hey, what's up, dude? Oh, nothing. I'm sitting here on a live stream right now. I told everybody I was talking to. The phone started ringing. So, but I'll be up for a while. Can I call you back when I get off of here? Okay. All right, dude. Talk to you later. That's funny. His timing. How many times has Matt called right in the middle of a live stream? That's great. That's great. So anyways, let's say hello to those of you who are here. And I know, so 27 minutes, about a half hour, I've been ranting here and haven't really addressed any of the comments or whatever. So if you're not here still, I apologize. But I just kind of wanted to get some, stuff off my chest about this topic here. And so let's see what some of you all are thinking here. 80s Monster Kill, what's up? What's up? Glad you get to catch a live. Well, nice, very cool. Yeah, and the lives are far and few in between right now, just because I got a lot of things going on. This is crazy. This I got a stack of stuff over here right now. Things that I'm working on, legal things, different things going on in life that have definitely changed the course of my YouTube behavior for now. So things will get back to normal, and I'll be able to explain some of it down the road. But I just got some stuff going on, and it's nothing bad. I'm not going to jail or anything like that. But there's some things going on, things that may make my life a lot more in line with the way I want it to be. And so there's good possibilities coming out of some of this stuff. So forgive me for the infrequency with what's going on here, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? Blackbear, what's up? What's up? Yeah, well, and it's good to see you dropping in. Hopefully you're doing well. Look at this. Oh, the Fluffy Gamer's in the house. The Fluffy Gamer. Mr. Gamer, no, I did not grab your ass, but I know your little tricks. I do know your little tricks. How's the G fam? What's up? What's up? Meadow God. All right. There you go. Killer Care Bear, what's up? How you doing, man? It's been a while. Nick B, what's up? Reggie 19. I support unions and their right to share in their profits they create. The fat cats are getting fatter. No, and Reggie, you're 100% right. And that's, I saw somebody posted that what's his name? Michael Eisner, whatever his name is, Eisner, the guy that's running Disney, was talking about writers wanting more money, and he didn't think it was realistic. And then they were saying the average writer makes like $69,000 a year, when Michael Eisner makes like $72,000 a day. So the fat cats are getting fatter, and that's why I support unions and I support people getting fair, proper wages. But if we all want to be the fat cats, we need to go to college, we need to get into business, and we need to climb that ladder like a lot of these people did. A lot of these folks, they didn't go try to become an actor and work their way to the top of these studios. They went to business, universities, or they went, became like into business law, became lawyers and stuff, to work their way to the top of these companies. And so, is there luck involved? Yes, just like becoming an actor. But we know how it is. The people at the top make the money. We know the path to the top. Most of us just choose not to take it. And that's why when I get you, and everybody should have fair living wages, but I'm not going to be mad at a CEO making every penny he can, because all of us would do the same thing. But that CEO chose to sacrifice some of his time while he was probably in his, she were in their, late teens, 20s, by going to college. They went and got a job, and they did things to climb that ladder. They made a lot of sacrifices to get where they are, and they're reaping the reward. Is the reward a little excessive? Yes, but they did what they had to do to get there. And for most of us, when we're sitting here playing video games, when we're sitting here, at 11:47 at night, digesting a nice, delicious burrito from the taco shop down the street, rather than being in bed so I can get up early and go to school and do what I have to do. Most of us, we can look in the mirror and go like, you know what? I haven't done everything I could do to make my life the best it possibly could. But you choose, I want to enjoy life. I'm good with this. I'm content. If I can make this much money, I can have a house, I can have a car, do the things I want to do. That's good. And a lot of us say that's good enough for me. I don't want to make all these sacrifices to try and climb this corporate ladder or anything. So I get it. I don't feel like corporate people are the devil. I don't feel a hate for them. They're running a business. They're trying to make the business as profitable as possible. That's their job, because if they don't do that, they will lose their job, because, all the shareholders are going to say, all right, out with this guy. Let's get somebody in there who can make us some money. So it's just part of the way the system works. Does it suck? Yes, but it just is what it is. But I'm with you. I think, they should be treated fair, get fair wages, be able to afford a living. But, at the same time, out of all the unions in the country, man, SAG has to be the most twisted, the way things work and all that. Because most unions, you go become like UFCW, United Food Commercial Workers, right? If you work in a grocery store, you make a certain amount of money, based on what job you're doing. You get a promotion, you make more money. You get transferred to a different department, you make whatever that department pays. That's the way unions typically work. So SAG being a union that's more about, it's just different things than specifically everybody getting paid the same. There's minimum payments that SAG has, where you have to pay actors a certain amount of money. But it's definitely a different animal than LA Teachers Union, who are, I don't know if they've resolved their strike, but they were striking. We've seen nurses strike, we've seen truck drivers strike, we've all kinds of different things. So it's a different animal, but I hope that they can come to a good resolve very soon. Eternal Harmony, what's up? AI and streaming, and that's I know the AI. And then the streaming, the constant, reuse of people's images, likeness, voice, that stuff. It is definitely something that needs to be hashed out with them. But I don't know the whole details of it. And honestly, I don't need to or care to know all of it. But I just hope that the powers that be that are on each side of the table can figure it out real soon. Skynet, 100%, right? 100%. And the scary thing is, we are getting like so close to not necessarily robots taking over the world, but the idea that a computer could be smart enough to go build another computer to make it do what the original computer needed done. I mean, that stuff is within reason, and that is crazy to think that we are getting to a point where Skynet is conceivable. I mean, it's really not like when we first saw that in the early 80s, when we saw Arnold travel through time and everything. Oh no, it's a pipe dream. It'll never happen. The whole time travel thing I don't know about, but computers taking over the world, man, that's a possibility. Let's see here. What's up, Sepper? We don't need the writers and actors anymore. I think AI one day will have its own AI actors that act in different movies. And that is, that's something else. That is a very interesting point. And that's something else that I had considered in all this, is that, let's just take music, for example. 100 years ago, if you wanted to hear music, maybe 150 years ago, you wanted to hear music, you had to go somewhere and somebody had to play. Then we got to a point where there was records and there was, or phonographs, whatever they were. And then there was the radio came about, and then the TV. And so we've been able to hear music all kinds of different ways. And so it's evolved. And then music itself has evolved to where, I mean, it was people actually playing instruments to then kind of electronic keyboards that could do different notes to now so much music is just created sitting behind a computer and they don't even need to step into a studio. So the evolution of music in general has been impacted by not necessarily AI, but by technology. And so where is that going? Are we going to get to a point where we don't even care or know what a guitar is or a set of drums are because everything's done with computers? It's very realistic possibility. And if we cross the line over into movies where, we started out with actors, then we started getting some effects, then, we're getting movies like these Marvel movies where they're like 90% shot in front of a green screen, and if not more, and very, very little of the movies are actually real. And so, filmed at real places. And so we are moving toward that AI created art, just in general, whether it's pictures, whether it's movies, music, whatever. We are moving toward that. And at some point down the road, I can see where the people who are, appreciating the art might come to a point where they're like, I'm okay with AI art. I'm good with this. I enjoy this. Some people like horror movies. Some people don't. Some people will like AI movies. Some people won't. For me, I love my biggest thing. And one of the things when I talk about when people say, my favorite movies or types of movies or whatever, and I love movies. I don't need a gigantic shark. I don't need a Godzilla. I don't need an Alien, which I actually just watched Alien 3 for the first time. 31 years after it came out, I just watched Alien 3. But I don't need all that stuff because I love the human mind is so amazing and so twisted and can come up with some amazing stories that I don't know that I'll ever care to watch a movie that's, created by AI. I want to see what kind of wacko stuff can come out of the human mind. And so I'll always want that element of it. What people can do, like in movies, like Silence of the Lambs, for example. It's just a twisted movie. The things that are going on. Buffalo Bill is just a nutcase. And I appreciate that, even though like a movie like Silence of the Lambs, it believe me, if you've seen it, it's got some violence, it's got some gore, but it's nothing like Evil Dead Rise. The Evil Dead Rise, it's probably not going to happen. We're probably not going to have a zombie apocalypse. I don't think we need to worry about that. So it's a little far-fetched. But it's still, some of those movies can be a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But I would rather watch something created by the human mind. And so I think that is always going to come into play when it comes to art. People are always going to watch or want to see something created by other people. And so we would never want to go to a football game or a baseball game, soccer game, and watch robots play, unless they were being controlled by people like video games, because that's fun when somebody else is controlling them. But we just wouldn't want to go see robots play, because it's going to be a level playing field. You're never going to get a winner unless one of them breaks down or something. So we want to see people doing things. And so it's a very, I love the question, or the thought, thinking about, the question of, will we one day get to where it's just all AI movies and stuff? It's definitely a possibility. Nick B, what's up, Nick B? AI is making college irrelevant. Pretty soon, AI will do everything. Won't be no need for schooling anymore. No, and you know what? You're 100% right. And with that in mind, what's that movie? Is it? I think Fluff showed it to me a while back. Idiocracy, right? Where it's like 500 years in the future, and everybody's a bunch of idiots because computers have done everything for us, and people are just so stupid they can't, manage simple daily tasks because computers have done it all for us, and the world is full of idiots. I think that's Idiocracy, right? And it definitely is driving us there. And in my opinion, you see so many people, even college students, you see these videos where, they go up to college students and ask them, like simple questions, and these college students cannot answer them, so that it is very scary the way that's going. Look at this. The legend, Robert C., the legend who has hooked it up with that Coke. Oh, look at, I don't even have my lights on. The Diet Coke mini fridge right there. And we got Ghostface up here, courtesy of the legend Robert C. Robert, how you doing, homeboy? Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully it's not too hot over there in Texas. It is very toasty here. They said, I don't live in Palm Springs, but we're relatively close. But it was supposedly like 119 in Palm Springs. Just nuts. Crazy stuff. Let's see. A Balzer, what's up, Balzer? Identifies as a lurker. I can confirm Balzer is a lurker. So not only does he identify, but he actually is a lurker. So when we address Balzer, it is Balzer the lurker from here moving forward. Yeah, but YouTube is bigger than Hollywood ever was. Yeah, you know what? And so 100% right about YouTube. And people, you see, like, my kids, it's just, let's watch stuff on the phone. Very, very rarely are they actually turning on a TV or watching a movie or anything anymore. So movies in general may become kind of archaic. Maybe there's a future without movies. Who knows? But or at least without like big screens and theaters. And that's something I know, like, what Movie One has been concerned with for a while. Like, will there come a day where we don't have movie theaters anymore? It's a possibility. And I will tell you what, we went and saw Indiana Jones recently, and it was tough. The entire theater, and I know Balzer saw the picture. I posted a picture on Instagram, us sitting down at the theater, and there was nobody in front of us. It was me, my kids, and two other people in the place. And the movie started, a few more people trickled in. But the other two people, and I looked when we bought our tickets, they weren't supposed to be sitting where they were. They were like 2 seats over from us. Out of the whole damn theater, they were 2 seats over from us. And the guy was sitting there eating his popcorn, and he was chewing louder than a farm animal. What is people's problem that you can't take a piece of popcorn, put it in your mouth, close your lips, and then chew it? Why do we have to go? One of my favorite memes of all time is, if I have heard you chew, I have imagined your death. And that I don't even know if that's an exaggeration because if you are chewing like a farm animal, if you are sitting there snacking on something with your mouth wide open and other people can hear you chew or see the food being smashed around in your mouth, that is disgusting. And I just, ooh, there, I mean, like, it's like if we're in a car and somebody's chewing with their mouth open, you'll just gradually see me turning up the radio louder and louder and louder so I can't hear it, or if we're sitting across the table and you're chewing with your mouth open, I will sit staggered. I won't sit in front of you because I don't want the food particles coming out of your mouth and going at me. So I'll sit, across and opposite or whatever. Let's just as a society, can we just learn to chew with our mouths closed? But anyways, done with that rant. Back to movies. It sucks going to movie theaters sometimes because of other people. Being in a nice theater, especially when you have the recliner seats with the big screen, is wonderful. The sound, everything. You're not worried about pissing off your neighbors or waking up anybody else in the house. You're having fun. You're watching a movie on a big old screen. It's great. But then there's somebody crinkling, somebody chewing loud, somebody's baby crying, or little kid asking questions, or somebody who has to go to the bathroom 17 times during a movie. It's just people being people, and they're just, in general, people are so inconsiderate of each other. I don't think they're trying to be mean. I don't think these people are like, oh, let's go to the movie theater and piss other people off. I just think it's people don't have a self-awareness. And I think if there's, let me get on another little tangent rant here. If there's two things in life that I can recommend that will make your life and everybody's lives around you better, is have self-awareness. Be aware of your body odor. Be aware of the context of your language when you're talking in front of other little kids. We don't use F words in front of little kids. We don't, talk about chicks we're banging in front of little kids or old people or whatever. Just self-awareness. Be aware of the presence of the idea that other people, what they're seeing in you. And then that will make you treat them a little bit better, just because you won't want to be that unpleasant presence near them. So self-awareness. And then the other thing is, I don't care what it is in life, never, ever, you never act out of emotion. Never. You can, like, even getting married, you fall in love with somebody and you want to spend the rest of your life with them. That's great. And you want to go run off and get married. That's great. But if you don't sit and take the time to consider, is this person a good match for me? Are we going to be compatible? If I take out my love and affection for them, do I like them as a person? Do we have the same type of dreams? Things like that. So you can't, even when it comes to marriage, you can't get married out of emotion. It has to make sense as well. You fall in love with somebody and it makes you want to marry them, but you have to decide. You have to make it a rational decision. Is this the right thing to do? Because if not, it's going to end in disaster. And we've seen it happen a lot. So self-awareness and never acting out of emotion. If you can master those two things, your life is going to be so much better. But anyways, enough with the movie theater and annoying people rant. Let's move on. Try and see here. I am a half hour behind on the comments now. Forgive me. Reggie, this has nothing to do with being woke. It has to do with fair compensation. Reggie, no, I'm with you. I'm not saying that Hollywood is being woke. That my example and what I was talking about with Evil Dead Rise being woke. And I'm not saying, and I said I am pro-union. So you could take sound bites out of this conversation and make me out to be a real bad person. But if you listen to everything I'm saying, you will understand where I'm coming from. But I agree with you. It has nothing to do with being woke. It's wanting fair compensation. You are 100% right. A fair opportunity to make a living doing a job. I'm with you. Carnage for Justin. What up? Little J. What up? Let's see. I hate the new woke Hollywood. It's pathetic. And you know what? So here's the thing. I'm not saying the strike is about being woke. I'm not saying what they're fighting for is about being woke, but so much of the stuff that comes out of Hollywood is woke and agenda driven, and it drives you nuts. It will drive you nuts. Believe it or not, there are conservatives who push their agendas through films. No, Reggie. Uh, and so I think you're missing my point in all this, and I understand that. I understand that as well, but anyways, I don't want to get into a whole like political debate and everything, but I'm not going to debate you on that, Reggie. Foster Man, what's up? What's up? I think the actors and writers are asking for too much. Their value of their work went down, not up. They're overpaid. Yeah, and I don't know about that because, for example, I think the minimum wage, like for an actor in Hollywood, is like less than $200 a day. So if you go to work and they have to be on set for what is like 10 or 12 hours potentially, and they only have to get paid like $200 a day, that's not overpaid. I mean, that's really not. I mean, if you're there 10 hours, that's $20 an hour for an actor. I don't think that's overpaid at all. When you have people working at In-N-Out Burger making more than that. So I don't think they're overpaid. A lot of them are. And that's our perception, is that everybody in Hollywood makes Matt Damon money, and they are overpaid. Yes. But the struggling, hardworking, up-and-coming actors, definitely not overpaid. Thelma, what's up? What's up? Eternal, I agree. These A-list actors not even worried about the struggling actors. 100%. It's easy for them to say strike when they have millions. 100%. Yes. Trevor, what's up? They won't stop AI realistically. They won't even need a scan. Right? You're 100% right. You don't even need like scans. You can just create your own people here. When it comes to the idea, if they don't do it, someone else will, and the studios will lose. That is progressive thinking and moving forward. And that's where, like I was talking about with the executives, they have, even Bob Eisner, whatever his name is, that's running Disney. He has a boss, and his boss is the shareholders. So he might be running the company, but he has to listen to the shareholders. And the people, if they don't make money, he's going to lose his job. So you always have to adapt and move forward and learn how to do new things and make more money and keep the company moving forward. And if they say, oh, we're not going to do this because that goes against something we believe in, and if that costs them money, then those people are going to be out of a job. So yeah, they have to look at all the different ways in the future that movies and stuff are going to be made. And if they just say, oh, we're not going to do AI because that goes against our principles, may or may not cause them big financial issues down the road. And so, yeah, it is a very interesting thought there, Trevor, that yeah, if they don't do it, somebody else will. It is very true. And here's the thing too, it's kind of interesting because so many people are like, oh, I stand with SAG. I stand with SAG. I stand with SAG. And I've seen it. I know tons and tons of actors because of my involvement with different movie projects. I've never been involved in a SAG film. And so every person I've ever worked with or worked for or had worked for me worked an indie film. Shunned by the union, by SAG-AFTRA. And then all these same folks want to get up and go, I stand with SAG. No, you don't. Because if you've worked on an indie film in the union world, you're a scab. And so for then you to turn and go, oh, I'm standing with the union, you're a hypocrite. So if somebody doesn't do it, somebody else will. Indie films are going to keep getting made because there's no rule or law that says we can't make indie movies. If the studios or if the actors ever had enough weight in their argument that they could say, okay, Netflix, HBO, Disney, Hulu, all you big companies, you can no longer stream, air, promote indie films. If they could ever get that accomplished, their union would be so much stronger. But it'll never happen. It will never happen. So indie films, indie filmmakers, indie film actors, we see you, we know you, and don't go all die hard on that line, acting like you'd never bit the hand that feeds you. You know. God, this stupid camera. I don't know why this does, and I'm still, man, I'm like over a half hour behind now, but I've lost my image. Camera says, "Oh, it looks like your camera shut down." But I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my backup camera here, which I don't know why I have to do, but I have to do it. So bear with me for a second. This kind of sucks, and this is more better off looking at an image like that than actually looking at my ugly face, anyways. So you're welcome for this, but bear with me for a second while I send myself a link so that way I can pull up another camera here. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion here now. My computer is really good, but it's got some miles on it. I've come to the conclusion that I need to get a new computer here. And I've got my laptop, but actually, so I have given my laptop to my daughter to use because her computer kind of took a shit. And so until I either get her a new computer or me a new computer or something, I'm stuck with this. But here we go. We're opening up. Hang tight. Let's see if I can get this over here. Enter. Oh, sorry. Boy, this is kind of killing my whole flow over here. What's up with that? Come on now. There we go. Okay. And now, oh, I'm facing the wrong way. Hang on a second, everybody. Okay, camera. And now let's turn it around. Oh, there we go. So let me put this. I got to figure out a place to put the camera. There we go. And this may make some ugly noise here. If it does, bear with me. I'll try and fix it. Hello. 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 Am I echoing? Let me turn that down. Let me know if I'm echoing out there. If I'm echoing, I will. Oh, nope. I'm back. This is kind of lame. I hate when this happens. Man, I got to really get a new computer. But anyways, let me try and get caught up on some of the conversation comments here, stuff or whatever. I got to figure out. I need a place to put this. It's a little bit better. Oh, and man, this phone only has 18%. Well, apparently we're not going to be in it for the long haul today. My phone only has like 18% battery left. So let me try and caught up on some of the comments here. Let's see. When OGB starts rambling, he really goes hard. No, 100%. That's how I roll. The rambles don't stop, and they go for like 30 minutes. That's how it happens. The actors I like are either dead or blackballed. Wow. Yeah. I think I need to kill. There we go. So, and I apologize. Apparently, I'm not going to get to everybody's comments. Mr. Bones, what up, Mr. Bones? Daddy doing it. Who cares if they strike? Most movies in the last couple of years have been terrible, and that's another take on it. That is another serious consideration that so many movies suck nowadays. So why do we care if they're not putting out anything good? Cody sounds a geek. What up, Cody? How you doing, homeboy? Been a while, but hopefully you're doing well. Sorry I didn't make it out of Vegas, man. We never made it out of Colorado. Oh, it's all good. It is all good. Let's see here. I'm curious which actors are currently being blackballed. That I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Let's see. The strike will probably help the studio since it will stop all the crap they have in a pipeline for a bit. Yeah, well, that is. Why am I? Turn that down. Oh, there we go. Now I'm not hearing myself anymore. Very, very true. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, COVID didn't help. You would think movies would have got better after COVID, but no, 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 no. Juno 2000, what's up? What's up? You saw Nefarious, and my favorite movie of this year. Nice. Definitely recommend it. Very cool. I'll have to check it out. Let's see here. Hey, GP, what happened to your video rant on Evil Dead Rise? So, Juno, all my videos are still there. And I'll just address this really, really quickly here. All my videos are still, they still exist. They're just private right now. Hopefully I will be getting them back up soon. That's the plan. They'll be back at some point. So look at this, Larry. The Batman fans of the house. What up, Larry? How you doing? And I apologize. I'm gonna have to skip some of these comments because phone doesn't have much juice, and for whatever reason, camera crapped out on me. So I apologize if I'm missing some of your comments here. Look at this, Rainy Night Gamers in the house. What's up? What's up? Always happy to see your lives. Yes, it is what it is. When you put in the work, you get more, but some people just get lucky with connections. 100%. Yep, 100%. So let's see here. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to scroll and get caught up. Robert C, you doing good? And you saw my Facebook last Sunday, me and my girlfriend went out drinking all the way till 1 a.m. Nice, decent. Yeah, Robert was out having a good time the other day. Let's see here. Oh, look, Jude Boyk's here. What's up, Jude? Yeah, and I apologize. The stream is not going to be going long here because I have lost my camera again. Hollywood, you sabotage. Oh, 100%, right? That's what it is. They hacked me. What's her name? Fran Drescher is on her computer at home hacking into OGP's layer here. So that's it. Computer. So it's, well, I have a Canon 90D. I have a really nice camera that I use for my live streams, and for whatever reason, every once in a while, my computer just goes, "Yeah, I'm not going to talk to the camera anymore," and that's what has happened right now. James Woods claims to be blackballed. James Woods is, here's the thing: is he still somebody that people want to see? I don't know. A lot of actors, when we go to the movies, we want to see something new and fresh. We hear, music. We want to hear new music. I think maybe James Woods, just time has come. But at the same time, James Woods is a good actor, but maybe he's blackballed. I don't know. If he can't get work, is it just because people don't want to see him anymore? Or is it, is he really blackballed? I don't know. I'm not really sure, but it's interesting. But I know James Woods has been saying for a while that he's been blackballed. So, anyways, with that being said, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. It's a bummer. Personally, I've just been ranting, so I've been having fun because I like to rant. And I apologize for the stream going sideways like this, but it has. And Jude, so unfortunately, the only way to get the camera fixed is involving shutting down the computer, doing a full reboot. So that's not really an option on a live stream right now. So anyways, be good, everyone. It's been fun. Take care of yourselves. Hopefully the strike ends. I hope the actors and everybody gets paid fairly. I hope they make a good living for themselves and they all get back to work very, very soon. I really do. Not wishing anybody to lose their jobs at all. Just having a hard time sympathizing with them when the rest of us have been struggling for a long, long, long time. So that being said, thank you, everybody. Have yourselves a good night, morning, evening, day, whatever, and I will see you very soon. Peace out.